Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. In this video, we will discuss about subtopic for chapter 7, Ionic Equilibria for acid and base, salt hydrolysis. Alright, so in this topic 7.1, acid and base part 3, in this video, I'm going to discuss about salt hydrolysis. Okay, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to, the first one, I can explain qualitatively salt hydrolysis and write hydrolysis equation for the salt form from the reaction between strong acid and strong base. Then the second one, we have strong acid and weak base, and then weak acid and strong base. First, this one kita ada strong and strong acid, weak base, weak acid, strong base. And then we are also going to classify the salts as neutral, acidic ataupun basic. So before we proceed further, kita tengok dahulu apakah dia salt in our discussion. So salt is an ionic compound formed by the reaction of an acid with a base. And the positive ion ataupun cation from a base and its negative ion is from an acid. So the general equation for hydrolysis is BOH. Okay, so this is base or base plus acid HX. Okay, produce B plus X minus plus H2O. Right, so tengok di sini. This is anion. So this anion datang daripada our acid. B is cation. Cation is came from our base. Hydrolysis is a process that or a reaction involve the breaking of chemical bond by addition of water to a substance. Okay, so in some cases, this addition can cause both the substance and the water molecule to split into two parts. There are three main types of hydrolysis. That are salt, acid and base. Then it dissolves sulfuric acid in water. It's simple example of hydrolysis. Iaitu kita gunakan sulfuric acid. So salt can be classified as neutral, acidic or basic in aqueous solution as they undergo hydrolysis. What is hydrolysis? Okay, tadi saya dah explain. Hydrolysis bermaksud tindak balas kimia, okay, a chemical reaction between an ion and or cation from a salt with water molecules. Jadi garam dissociate kepada cation dan anion dan dia react with water molecules. Jadi kita akan tengok tiga important points di dalam part ini, okay, iaitu the pH of the solution will depends on it is either the first one cation or anion from the salt is hydrolyzed. Okay, jadi pH yang bergantung kepada cation ataupun anion. Second one kita akan discuss about the conjugate base or anion of a weak acid which undergoes hydrolysis to give a basic solution. And then conjugate acid. Conjugate acid ini daripada cation. Weak base dia akan hydrolyze untuk memberikan acidic solution. Jadi kita tengok why conjugate base anion dia daripada weak acid kita akan dapat basic solution. Kalau dia daripada weak base dia akan hydrolyze mendapat acidic solution. So why this happen? For example, kita ada satu garam iaitu sodium acetate. Sodium acetate dia berasal daripada CH3, COOH and NaOH iaitu weak acid dan juga strong base. Okay, so we came from CH3, COOH dan juga NaOH. So reaction ini dia akan it will produce CH3, COO, Na. So OH akan combine dengan hydrogen dan dia akan produce H2O. Kita ambil garam di sini. So this salt dia akan dissociate kepada acetate ion. Okay, kita akan dapat sodium dan juga acetate. This will give garam yang akan kita gunakan. So kita ambil daripada salah satu. Di antara dua ni, this one adalah daripada weak acid dan this one daripada strong base. So this is daripada strong base. CH3COH adalah daripada weak acid. So kita ada weak acid dengan strong base. Di antara dua ni CH3COO-Na mengurai kepada acetate dan Na+. Jadi kita ambil CH3COO-Na. Kenapa kita pilih CH3COO-Na? Okay, because acetate ion dia came from weak acid, which is kalau dia weak acid dia partially hydrolyzed. Okay, dia tidak completely hydrolyzed. Kita boleh melakukan proses hydrolysis. So hydrolysis maksudnya dia akan bertindak balas dengan H2O. So this is this is base. Okay, in this case this is base. Okay, so base dia akan accept proton. Okay, accept proton daripada H2O, because H2O di dalam ini dia menjadi role dia adalah sebagai acid. So bila dia bagi H kepada COO minus, and then dia akan form conjugate acid. Actually conjugate acid is the weak acid it came from. Then dia akan dapat ion hydroxide. So the presence of OH minus ions give a basic solution. So kita tengok the next one. So this is the salt that came from ammonia and hydrochloric acid. So ammonia plus hydrochloric acid and H3 plus HCl. So ammonia is weak base. HCl is strong acid. Jadi siapa lebih dominan di sini? Strong acid. Maksudnya garam ini sebenarnya dia akan bersifat acidic. So macam mana kita boleh tahu dia adalah bersifat acidic? So first kita dissociate dahulu. So this one dia akan form the salt that we have, NH4Cl. So kita ambil salt NH4Cl ini, dia akan dissociate kepada ammonium dan juga chloride. Jadi ammonium ini, okay, this ammonium datang daripada ammonia, weak base. So dia yang akan undergoes hydrolysis. So bila dia undergoes hydrolysis, okay, macam mana proses hydrolysis? So hydrolysis macam biasa kita react dengan apa? H2O. So kita just tambahkan H2O. So this is our base. Sorry, this is our acid. And then this is our water akan bertindak sebagai base di sini. So dia akan donate hydrogen kepada H2O. So dia akan form NH3. Jadi bila H2O terima satu hidrogen, dia akan jadi apa? H3O+. So the presence of H3O+ memberikan dia sifat apa? Acidic salt. So hydrolysis ini akan menghasilkan apa? Acidic salt. Selain daripada itu, okay, kita boleh tengok juga dari manakah garam ini berasal. This salt came from ammonia and hydrochloric acid. Ammonia is weak base, hydrochloric acid is strong acid. Jadi garam dia akan bersifat yang dominan iaitu strong acid. Next, kita tengok type of hydrolysis. So type of hydrolysis, okay, kita ada berapa jenis hydrolysis? Dua jenis hydrolysis. Type of hydrolysis, kita ada partial hydrolysis and complete hydrolysis. So what is partial hydrolysis? The term partial bermaksud separa. So partial hydrolysis is occur in salt form, okay, which came from weak acid and strong base ataupun strong acid and weak base, which is yang kita dah buat sebelum ini, ataupun complete hydrolysis. So complete hydrolysis dia adalah occur in salt form which come from weak acid dan juga weak base. So it's very simple one. Okay, untuk complete hydrolysis, okay, untuk partial hydrolysis, either cation or anions are hydrolyzed. Tapi kalau untuk weak acid and weak base, both cation and anion will undergo hydrolysis. Okay, hydrolysis. So kita tengok salt of strong acid dan juga strong base. So strong acid and strong base, okay, both cations and anion from the salt do not hydrolyze. Okay, dia tidak mengalami hydrolysis. Okay, kerana apa? Because kedua-dua ion ini adalah conjugate of strong base dan juga strong acid. So kita tahu strong base dan strong acid dia sudah completely ionized. Okay, so the pH of the salt daripada strong acid and strong base is pH is equal to 7 at 25 degree Celsius. So it form a neutral solution. And then the example is NaOH and HCl, which is dia akan dapat sodium chloride. So sodium chloride kita hydrolysis, dia akan menghasilkan Na plus dan juga Cl minus. The property acid is neutral. So kalau salt of weak base dan juga strong acid, jadi siapakah yang dominan di sini? Strong acid. Okay, kuat, acid yang kuat. Jadi in aqueous solution, salt dissociate completely. Salt dia akan dissociate completely, dia akan mengurai kepada NH4 plus dan juga Cl minus. NH4 plus ini dia datang daripada weak base. And then Cl minus datang daripada strong acid. Jadi siapa lebih dominan? Strong acid. NH4 plus is a strong conjugate acid because dia daripada weak base. So it hydrolyzes water molecule by donating proton daripada NH4 plus. So NH4 plus dia akan donate one hydrogen kepada water and then menghasilkan ion H3O+. Thus the solution is acidic. The ion H3O+ ini bermaksud garam kita bersifat acidic. Next, salt daripada strong base dan juga weak acid. So strong base, okay, example of our strong base is NaOH dan juga weak acid, acetic acid. Bila dia dissociate, bila dia combine, dia akan produce CH3CONA, sodium acetate and water. In aqueous solution, salts dissociate completely. Okay, garam dia akan mengurai dengan lengkap. Jadi bila dia mengurai dengan lengkap, dia akan menghasilkan acetate ion dan juga sodium ion. CH3CO minus, okay, acetate ini dia datang daripada weak acid. Jadi maksudnya dia adalah strong conjugate base. Jadi kalau dia strong conjugate base, maksudnya di sini dia akan undergo hydrolysis. Jadi bila dia undergo hydrolysis, CH3COO minus plus H2O. So hydrogen dia akan donate, water will donate 1 H plus, and then dia akan form CH3COOH. Jadi water tadi dia akan jadi apa? OH minus. The presence of OH minus menyebabkan dia bersifat basic salt. So siapakah yang menentukan dia? Okay, kenapa kita cakap dia basic? Sebab kita ada ion OH minus. Right. In summary, okay, secara ringkasnya kita boleh katakan di sini type of salt, kita ada dua jenis garam. Okay, type of salt kita iaitu strong acid plus strong base. pH dia adalah neutral dan tiada berlaku hydrolysis because came from strong acid and strong base. The no hydrolysis will occur. So the example is sodium chloride, potassium iodide, potassium nitrate, okay, rubidium bromide, barium chloride. Okay, kalau kita daripada strong acid dan juga weak base, so our strong acid dan juga weak base. Jadi siapakah strong acid? Example is HCl, okay, HCl, nitric acid. So the pH is less than 7. Why less than 7? Because it is acidic. Because it came from strong acid and weak base. So strong acid is more dominant, and then weak base is less dominant. Actually kita nak senang ingat macam itulah. Tapi kalau NH4 plus, NH dan juga Cl, NH4 plus dia datang daripada weak base. So dia adalah conjugate acid yang kuat. Okay, strong conjugate acid. So dia adalah acidic. Manakala kalau weak acid dan strong base, okay, example of weak acid adalah acetic acid. So acetic acid dan juga sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide dia adalah strong base. Acetic acid adalah weak acid. Jadi bila di dissociate, weak acid akan menjadi strong conjugate base. Strong conjugate base. Jadi kalau dia strong conjugate base, dia akan mengalami hydrolysis. Okay, itu anionic hydrolysis. So kita tengok one exercise here. Predict whether the following solutions will be acidic, basic or neutral. So kita ada NH4I. So NH4I dia akan dissociate kepada NH4 plus dan juga I minus. Jadi NH4 plus dia daripada weak base, manakala I minus ini dia datang daripada strong acid. Dia strong acid dengan weak base, di garam ini dia akan bersifat apa? Dia bersifat acidic. Okay, Right. So this one dia akan produce CaCl2 will produce Ca2 plus dan juga 2Cl minus. So CaOH, calcium hydroxide adalah strong base. Yang ini adalah strong acid, HCl. Jadi dia akan bersifat apa? Neutral. Okay. Alright, KCN. So kita akan dapat K plus dan juga Cn minus. Okay. K daripada KOH, Cn dia daripada HCN. So KOH is strong base. Jadi garam kita bersifat apa? Bersifat basic. Okay, right. So the rest you have to try on your own. So we have NH4, NO3, KNO2, Na2CO3, KClO4, and NH42, SO4. Okay, so that's all for this part. Buffer solution. What are buffer solutions? Let's check it out. Alright, so at the end of this lesson, you should be able to define buffer solution, describe qualitatively how a buffer solution controls its pH, and write Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Okay, apakah dia buffer solution? A buffer solution is a type of solution which has the ability to maintain its pH when a small amount of strong acid or base is added to the solution. Buffer solution merupakan satu larutan yang mempunyai kebolehan untuk mengekalkan nilai pH apabila sedikit sejumlah kecil asid ataupun base kuat dimasukkan ke dalam larutan tersebut. So kriteria ataupun ciri-ciri untuk buffer solution. First one, kita ada dua jenis buffer solution, iaitu kita masukkan weak acid dan juga garam dia, iaitu conjugate base. So this one is known as acidic buffer solution, or the second one is weak base, okay, and its salts, iaitu its conjugate salt yang dipanggil basic buffer solution. Kalau kita gunakan weak base, so it is basic buffer solution. If we use weak acid, it is acidic buffer solution. So both must present. Kedua-dua mesti ada di dalam buffer solution. Kalau cuma ada weak acid, it is not a buffer solution. Ataupun it only contains salt, okay, ataupun conjugate base saja, it is not a buffer solution. So apakah maksud weak acid dan juga salt? So kita tengok next slide. So ciri-ciri buffer solution, it has a definite pH. Okay, pH value does not change on dilution. pH value does not change on keeping for a long time, and pH value remains constant. So ini adalah ciri-ciri ataupun karakteristik of a buffer solution. So acidic buffer solution. Example of acidic buffer solution, as I mentioned earlier, we should have weak acid. Jadi dalam case ini, di manakah weak acid kita? Yes, this is our weak acid, iaitu acetic acid. So garam dia adalah daripada came from acetic acid and strong base. So the reaction which occur in buffer solution, so this is dissociation of weak acid. Weak acid akan dissociate kepada conjugate base. Jadi dia akan release hydrogen dia akan donate the hydrogen kepada H2O. So dia akan tinggal apa? CH3COO- and H3O+. CH3COONA, so this is daripada salt, daripada garam kita tadi. So salt will dissociate kepada acetate ion dan juga Na+, cation. So which is our cation came from strong base. So the amount of acetate is mainly from complete dissociation of salt, because weak acid is partially dissociate. Jadi maksudnya di sini, di dalam buffer solution kita, in our buffer solution, kita akan masukkan weak acid and its salt. Our weak acid is CH3, COOH, dan juga salt kita adalah CH3, COO, and A. Weak acid dia akan dissociate kepada CH3, CO minus dan juga H3O plus, while salt akan dissociate kepada CH3, COO minus. So inilah yang saya cakap tadi. Di dalam ini ada CH3, COO minus. So yang lebih banyak adalah CH3, COO minus yang datang daripada salt. This is because weak acid is partially dissociate. So prepared by weak acid is added to a salt which contain a conjugate base in some appropriate amount of water. Jadi ini adalah kandungan buffer solution. Action of acidic buffer solution. Jadi tadi kita dah masuk weak acid. And then kita masukkan salt. Jadi salt kita adalah CH3, COO, and A. Dan weak acid kita adalah CH3, COOH. So dia akan dissociate kepada ion acetate, CH3CO minus, dan juga Na+. So ini adalah ion dia. Okay, this is the ion. So the mixture contain low concentration of H3O+. H3O+ ni sedikit saja kerana dia adalah daripada weak acid, dan high concentration of acetate. Tapi acetate ni tinggi sebab kedua-dua both salt dan juga weak acid mengandungi acetate ion. Dua ada acetate ion. Bila kita masukkan sedikit small amount of strong acid. Strong acid kita adalah the strong acid. Example kita masukkan HCl. HCl dia akan bertindak balas dengan conjugate base. Manakala bila kita masukkan strong base, dia akan bertindak balas dengan weak acid yang ada di dalam buffer solution. Apakah action ataupun perkara yang berlaku bila kita masukkan H3O+ ataupun strong acid? When a small amount of strong acid is added, the concentration of H3O+ will increases. Okay, why it increases? Because kita masukkan acid. So system try to reduce by consuming it. The system akan bertindak balas untuk menggunakan H3O+. Thus, the H3O+ ion will be consumed by CH3 COO minus, iaitu conjugate base, okay, to form CH3 COOH. Jadi ini adalah consumption daripada conjugate base. Acetate ion react dengan H3O+ daripada strong acid yang kita masukkan. Jadi bila dia react, dia akan dapat semula weak acid dan juga H2O. As a result, there will be only a small change in pH. So, concentration of acetate akan berkurangan dan concentration of acetic acid will increase. Jadi kenapa acetic acid kita increase? Okay, because acid tadi yang kita masukkan acid kuat sudah bertindak balas dengan acetate. So dia akan menghasilkan acetic acid plus H2O. Bila kita masukkan OH minus, okay, OH minus. OH minus ni datang daripada mana? OH minus datang daripada sodium hydroxide ataupun strong base. Bila base yang kita masukkan, weak acid akan meneutralkan OH minus. OH minus ini akan dineutralkan oleh weak acid, which is the opposite with the, okay, bila kita masukkan H3O+. Jadi water is formed. Jadi bila water is formed, iaitu weak acid dia akan bertindak balas dengan OH minus. So OH minus dia akan form water dan juga acetate semula. Baiklah, so kita tengok macam mana pH of acidic buffer solution for the calculation. Kita ada dua equation iaitu CH3COOH, okay, produce CH3CO minus and H plus, and CH3COO and A produce CH3CO minus plus and A plus. Di dua-dua ni adalah, okay, kedua-dua ini adalah content yang terdapat di dalam buffer solution. Okay, so our acidic buffer solution. Alright, so in acidic buffer solution, bila kita ada equation, so we take this equation untuk kita write the buffer solution punya equation. Right, so first Untuk equation yang saya tunjukkan di sini, okay, kita write Ka is equal to, okay, concentration CH3 COO minus times concentration H plus over concentration CH3 COOH. Alright, and then we rearrange the equation so that kita tinggal H plus saja di satu side. So kita akan dapat H plus is equal to Ka times concentration CH3 COOH over concentration CH3 COO minus, which is kita akan negative log kan semua ini. Okay, taking negative log for the whole equation. Jadi dia akan jadi negative log concentration H plus equal to negative log Ka plus negative log concentration CH3 COOH over concentration acetate COO minus. Negative log H plus is equal to pH. Negative log Ka is equal to pKa plus negative log. Okay, so this one is, kita tak mau tanda negatif di sini, so kita akan invert. Okay, so kita akan dapat log concentration acetate CH3 COO minus over CH3 COOH, where ini adalah apa ni? Ini adalah salt, and then this is ataupun conjugate base, and this is weak acid. Jadi in general we can write the equation as pH is equal to pKa plus log concentration conjugate base or salt over concentration weak acid. So this equation is known as Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Kalau untuk basic buffer solution, prepared by mixing a weak base and its salt, iaitu conjugate acid. For example, we have ammonia and NH4Cl. So, reaction that occurs in a basic solution, okay, basic buffer solution is ammonia plus water produce NH4 plus and OH minus. Hydrogen from water will be donated to NH3 base. So it is partially dissociate. Kita ada salt akan hydrolyze, okay, dia akan dissociate kepada NH4 plus dan juga Cl minus. So the amount of NH4 plus found in the mixture is mainly from the complete dissociation of salt. The weak base is NH3 and our conjugate acid is NH4 plus. So the amount of NH4 plus found in the mixture is mainly from the complete dissociation of NH4Cl. So meaning that ini adalah daripada apa? NH4Cl. Mostly daripada NH4Cl. So action of basic buffer solution to control the pH. So when a small amount of acid is added, so H plus will be consumed by ammonia, because so H plus ialah acid, the ammonia is a base. So base dia akan consume acid newly added to form NH4 plus. So NH4 plus, most of the acid added H plus will be removed this way. Thus, as a result, there will only be a small change in pH. The concentration NH3 will decrease because ammonia tadi sudah bertindak balas dengan H plus, manakala concentration NH4 plus will increase. So action of basic buffer solution untuk control pH, bila kita masukkan small amount of, so OH minus will be removed by the ammonium ion. Ammonium tu adalah daripada NH4 plus daripada salt. So NH4 plus react with OH minus. So ini adalah daripada base yang kita masukkan. And then ini adalah conjugate acid kan. So this is conjugate acid. Di conjugate acid ini akan bertindak balas dengan base. Jadi bila NH4 plus bertindak balas dengan base, dia akan menghasilkan semula ammonia dan juga water. The equation is NH4 plus plus base added, so dia akan dapat ammonia and water. Most of the OH minus added is removed, hence the pH change only slightly. So the concentration of NH4 plus will decrease and ammonia will increase. Kenapa dia increase? Sebab dia terhasil a new product form after ammonium react with hydroxide. So the pH of the basic buffer solution can be maintained when the addition of strong acid. Jadi strong acid ni akan dia akan dineutralkan oleh ammonia yang terdapat di dalam buffer solution. So strong base will be neutralized by the NH4 plus in the buffer solution. So this is the action yang berlaku di dalam basic buffer solution. This is the equation for buffer solution. So now let's derive how to get the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation untuk basic buffer solution. So this is Kb. Okay. Untuk weak base kita akan kira menggunakan nilai Kb. So this is weak base. Jadi kita write the expression dia sebagai Kb is equal to concentration NH4 plus time concentration OH minus over concentration NH3. So rearrange this equation, kita akan dapat so rearrange this equation, we got we left OH minus at the left hand side equal to Kb times concentration NH3 over concentration NH4 plus. Taking negative log for the whole equation. POH equal to PKB plus, since this is negative, so kita invert the equation. So log NH4 di atas, NH4 plus di atas, ammonia di bawah, NH3. Actually this one adalah apa ni? Conjugate acid ataupun kita punya salt concentration ya. And then this one is concentration of weak base. So we can rewrite this equation as POH is equal to PKB plus log conjugate acid over weak base concentration. So now we just got POH. Jadi kalau untuk kira pH is equal to 14 minus POH. Right, so kita boleh dapat pH. Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for basic buffer solution. So how we apply this equation? So look at this example. What is the pH of a solution containing 0.3 molar HCOOH and 0.52 molar HCOOK, where the Ka given is 1.69 exponential negative 4. So kita nak kira pH jadi kita akan tulis the equation. .77 to plus 0.23. Thus the pH is 4.00. Okay, so this is the pH untuk buffer solution. Okay class, thank you.
Alright, thanks for watching.